Hey friends, I have a really special video for you today. So, with us on the computer all the time now, I thought it would be kind of cool. I get to embrace my nerdy side and I get to show you, have you learn something as well. This is my computer, and I'm gonna, if you have one or you don't, you've obviously seen one. I'm actually gonna break this down. I've unplugged all the bits from this thing right here, which is called a tower. And we're going to take a look at all the parts. That way, if you ever see a computer, you know what it is, you know how it works, and maybe you learn a little something new too. So obviously, right, monitor, mouse, headphones, we all know that. Keyboard, glows green, it's pretty cool. But the biggest thing is this thing right here. This giant thing, which for learning purposes, it's about as big as my leg, is called a tower. Now, inside this tower, which I'm going to pull out, is the brains of your computer. Seriously, everything that your computer needs to run is in here. And the fun little fact, I built this myself. What? Yes, you too can someday build your own computers. But right now, we're going to take a quick little gander inside this computer. So you can see all the little do's and dabs. And also see that it hasn't been cleaned in forever. So just unscrew these little things around here. It's little small, kind of hard, but they hold this big thing on here called a panel. And what they do is they keep all the good stuff on the inside from escaping. No, just kidding. They just keep it there. Anywho's,
Can you not?
inside we have all the meat and potatoes, all the parts. And it's a little freaky, but if you can, pretend none of these little wiry doobabbers are in the way. Now, obviously this stuff is pretty heavy, very expensive, all that jazz, and very sensitive to electricity. It doesn't ever go across the carpet and you go and it hurts, static. Even the little tiny static will make it not feel so great anymore. So what we're going to do, we're going to touch our shirts or whatever, get all the static out of our hands, get all the dogs with all their fur and all their staticky hair away from our computer parts. And now that we're ready, we're going to break it down. So the first thing I'm going to point out is the battery. Without that, nothing's going to run, right? So battery, graphics, that's if you have your monitor, this big thing right here will say how nice the picture is or whatnot. But the part that's really, really important, this little thing on the back. It's hard to see because it's a little dark, but that big square thing is called a motherboard. And what a motherboard is, it's like a giant communicator. It tells all the parts attached to it, hey, listen, this is how you should operate. This is what you should do. And attached to it, it has a lot of little things here. And you're like, what is this? What is that? What are those other things? Well, I'm going to break them down. This big giant thing right here is actually a fan. You're not going to really be able to see it, but there's a fan here, a fan here, a fan here. Well, Miss Redward, why are there so many fans? Well, put simply, it gets really hot in here. When these things are on and communicating, beep, boop, beep, it gets really, really warm. And if the fans weren't here, all this stuff inside would melt and it would not be pretty because these parts are very sensitive and very expensive. Now these things, which I'm going to point to them, but I'm not going to touch them. Don't touch these parts with your hands. They're called RAM. We don't have to worry about what that means. It's not the goat or the animal. It's three capital letters, RAM. The bigger number, the better. I'm not sure, but I think the biggest you can get them are 32. So they have numbers, and the higher the number, the better they are. These are 16 RAMs. So 16 plus 16 is 32. Anyways, what these sticks do is they're called random access memory, and what they do is they take everything you're clicking on, bloop, bloop, on the internet, any game you're playing, all those apps that you're playing, and it stores that information really quickly. That way you can access it later. Random access memory. Now, the other part, you can't see it. It's underneath the fan. It's a teeny tiny little thing. The most powerful thing in the computer. It's called a processor. Now what it does, all the little things you're clicking on and the RAM is storing, it processes it and it says, what am I going to do with this? And it tells the computer through all its little magic things, its little stuff called code and algorithms, and basically it's a giant recipe for what the computer knows how, so it knows what to do. And then, so working together, we have, again, the processor, which processes everything, the RAM, which thinks about and saves everything really, really quickly. That's why when you click on something on your computer or on the internet, it loads up really nice. And then we have the motherboard, which connects everything and gets everything talking, kind of like we do on Zoom. The motherboard connects everything and brings everything together. Now, that's really it. The only other things in here that have any interest, these two things right here. They're called an HDD, not HD like TV, an HDD, which stands for hard disk drive, which is like, I like this picture, or I like this video, or I'm going to download this thing from Disney Plus or something. This little square it's a really big number, 2 terabytes of space on it, which just means a lot of space. It's like thousands of little boxes that you can put your favorite things into. It also holds the stuff that operates your Windows, or which is the when you first turn on your computer, bloop, and the little screen turns blue and it turns on. That's called Windows. If you have a PC, for Macs it's the same thing. It's everything that your computer operates on. iPads have them. If you have Kindles, they have them. Like, everything and anything that's a computer has something that has what's called memory on it, and it stores it, and you do everything with it. But yeah, I mean, computers they're actually not that much to them when you get to look inside. And I mean, at the end, they're really cool, but they're also really sensitive. So if you have one, just make sure you treat it with respect. Alright? So, thanks for coming to my special Ed Talks today, and I hope you learned a little something about computers. Bye!